Hello and welcome to the Trinity Music Podcast. On today's episode, we have S6 pupil Annie Johns. How are you, Annie?
I'm great. Really glad to be here.
Good.
What a moment.
Well, whenever we started this, we wanted to get you on straight away because you are one of the top people in the department.
You can just say the most important person.
The most important person in the whole department.
Yeah, I'd probably say so.
Tied probably with the person behind the camera just now.
Give us a wave. Oh, well.
So we've got Abby behind the camera, two parts of the three.
Yeah.
You, Abby, and Phoebe.
I know, we're missing
the
her.
greatest girl band to grace Renfrew.
She's in Costa.
I nearly said Renfrew High there.
She's in Costa and now having a Boots meal deal, so...
She's taking a Boots meal deal into Costa?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
It's really weird.
If you're watching this, Phoebe, I hope you're enjoying that pasta.
Phoebe doesn't watch this.
Well, she does now. Right.
Anyway, so you're on for a particular reason. You're not on to talk about your favourite songs, are you? What are you going to be doing?
So I was gonna, but then I thought instead we should rank all of Taylor Swift's greatest songs.
Yes.
Which is a bold statement because, some of them are they're just okay. But I think pretty much all of Taylor Swift's songs are great. So
yes.
I have a short list of 16 songs that I thought we could rank. Unmatched, top tier, a classic plays in hit skip. I think only one will be in hit skip and only one will be in unmatched. So then most of them will go between the three in the middle.
These are good categories. So you've made them I like the way that you've done this. So this is much more organised than Sean Lamon's one, obviously.
Yeah. Well, when I walked into you and Sean recording yours, you were just writing them very, very quickly.
In all caps.
Yeah, you were both agreeing and disagreeing on what you wanted the headings to be. So
yeah. See, to be fair, Sean's episode was really good, I think, if you've not seen it before.
Yeah, no, I need to go and watch the rest of it. I only watched some of.
Yeah, some of it. Well, now we're going to be doing a similar sort of idea, but with Taylor Swift this time.
I know. Sorry, Sean, if you're watching this, I copied you.
Yeah, we've ripped him off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
He is the original podcast guest, and nobody can ever take that away from him.
The pilot episode, so, he set us all up.
Excellent. Right, so let's get started. So you just basically shuffle the cards a wee bit, so they're in random order. Pull a song out. And then we'll discuss the song and you can place it.
Okay. So this is actually when I think you might know You Belong With Me.
Oh, I like that song.
Yeah, you do.
Belong With Me.
I remember you told us that you like this song.
Yeah,
so,
this is excellent.
I love this song, to be honest. I know people would probably say it's one of our very mainstream, overplayed. But I do like this song. I think it was in our absolute golden era. So
is it just as she's transitioning from kind of country artist to mainstream pop star? Yeah,
absolutely. I want to put this one in top tier, I think.
Top tier, all the way to top tier. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know it's quite bold because first song I've put out, but it was great because she was transitioning from one music era to another. So I
think it's really good. It's got a really good catchy guitar part in that song as well.
Yeah, I know, absolutely.
Came out, was it about 2009, 2010 or something like that?
It was one of our early ones.
Cool. So if you pass over to me, right, I'll put this in top tier. Now what we did with Sean was you can kind of move them around as you go. So even if you think something else comes that should replace it, then...
Okay.
Aye. Do you want to set category limits? So do you want to have a maximum of 5 in this, a maximum of 5 in here, or are you just going to go freestyle?
I'll do 4 in each.
4 in each. Cool.
Wait, 4?
You've got 16, haven't you? So you could do 4 in each. If we do 4 in each, you could do 4, 4, 4, 3, and then that leaves 1 here.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like what Sean did, he only had 1 in the bottom tier. So
okay.
We'll just do it. It doesn't matter.
Right.
So you Belong With Me has gone in the top tier.
Yes.
Great song. Very well known song.
Very.
Really catchy. Good vocals in it, and it's just a good song for having on the car.
That's true.
Right, pick another one.
Right, I want to... This is a good one. I don't know if you know this one. This was newer, but not really new. I think the album's called Folklore, and it's called August.
I've heard that song, yeah.
It's good.
I don't know it as well.
It makes me really emotional.
Right, okay.
I don't know, it's kind of weird, because it's actually a really nice song, and I think it's just about August.
As in the month, yeah.
It's just kind of an awkward month. But also, because it's the end of summer, it's still got nice parts of it.
Summery vibe to it, yeah.
But she just sounds absolutely unreal in it.
Nice.
But then, I'm saying, it does make me a bit sad. And then also, it was really overplayed when it came out, which is unfortunate. So it's not, I don't listen to it much anymore, but when it comes on, I still am do you know, this is a good song. So I'd probably put this in a classic, because I did listen to it when it came out, but I listened it to the point that I can't really listen to it much anymore.
That does happen with songs quite a lot, I think, as well.
But this was when she was complete mainstream, so this is a way, way, way from country. And now
is this what sort of time would this be? What year?
It might have been like, I can't remember if it's as far back as 2019.
Okay, for that kind of time.
It might have been 2021. It's either 2019 or 2021.
Yeah.
I think, or even earlier.
So relatively like recently.
It was, when she was very mainstream. So
yeah, aye.
I'm just going to put this here.
Cool, yeah, stick it in the classic. Still means, obviously, like, it's still a song that you like, but not quite at this stage where we're going, put it on repeat all the time.
Yeah.
Do you have any particular memories of that song, or is it just one that came out when you were already a Taylor Swift fan?
Well, I guess not really any memories, because it was like when I was like listening to Taylor Swift, but it just like when I hear it now, I think of, unfortunately, TikTok.
Yeah.
There was like it was like a trend to put on like your August dump with the song.
Right, okay.
So now when I think of it, I think of like nice things, or like I think of like what I did in August last year, because that's when it that was like surfacing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and for some reason, like one of the boys at Left School, Lyle,
yeah,
I always like, it always reminds me of him. He really likes Taylor Swift.
Right.
So
nice.
There's another one in here that I put in because Lyle showed me. So
cool.
There's a couple that he really reminds me of, but that's one of them, because I remember seeing his and I was like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah.
I was actually leaning onto an interesting question I had there. So see TikTok, right? Obviously that's quite heavily linked to music. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Like,
well, see, to be fair, I know now it's like quite a big thing to kind of take off some people's careers, like, or resurface. This is kind of random, but just I knew a song. It was like a year ago that I heard a song by a rapper, Ice Spice, right? And then recently she's brought out a song with an artist called Pink Panthers.
Okay.
And it's like really resurfaced, but I only heard it through TikTok. And I think like that's a good side of it. Like you hear.
Yeah, it's a good way for discovering music, isn't it?
Which is good, because probably most of my playlists came from either my dad or TikTok. So on that part it's good, but then also sometimes you just want to keep a song to yourself.
That's true.
Like see with like some Taylor Swift songs, like August would have been a great song if it was kept off of TikTok. It still is a great song, but it's not as good now, because I heard it so much. Yeah. To a point that I was like, I don't want to hear this as much anymore.
What's that other one? Is it Anti-Hero? That song's called.
That's also in here.
We'll come to that later. But I can't, like, every second video you see on TikTok is always that song.
And that one, like I hear it every day as well, because my mum's absolutely obsessed with it. So I just can't really escape it anymore. But it's an okay song, but it's like one of the other ones, like it would have been so good if it wasn't. Yeah,
it's interesting how it's got its pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
Cool, right, go for another song.
I won't do Anti-Hero because we just
come back to it later, yeah.
So The Story of Us, I love this. This is
The Story of Us.
Very bold, but I'd probably put this unmatched, because I know this was going to be, if I was talking about my 3 favourite songs, this would have been one of them, I think. Yeah. I was going between a few, and I told you a Taylor Swift song, but this would have been the one that I'd 100% went with. It's like very old. I think this was in Fearless, maybe?
Is that the first album?
When
album?
She's in like the purple dress.
Yeah.
So I love this. It was just very, not basic, but it was just very love song, and it was very teenage. Like, it was screamed like teenage love story.
Yeah,
so
nice.
It's, again, very basic, but it's just a really good song, and it was very, like, she had that really strong country accent and stuff like that, and I really like that. So this is one like I'll always go back to, and it was never really like, I didn't constantly hear it off social media and like other people playing it. Like, this is the one that I'd want to keep to myself for a long time.
Good stuff, yeah.
Obviously, it's probably got loads of streams, loads of people listen to it, but I just don't hear this as much as what I'd hear like August and Anti-Hero on TikTok.
Yeah, it's not as it's got a more special place if it's more not an organic song, but like it's like,
obviously it's a bit about breakup and stuff like that, which is very Taylor Swift, but then it's just, it always runs back to like being a teenager, falling in love, breaking up. So it's not really my style, but I like this, and most of her songs are like that. Up there. So
that actually leads me on to another question. So how did you first get into Taylor Swift as an artist? What was it that like made you want to go and listen to her?
So my sister, she did guitar, and she was playing Love Story. This was like, must have been when I was like 9.
Yeah.
And I remember her playing it, well, maybe not 9. I can't really remember, but she was playing it on the guitar, and I said, that sounds really nice. So I'd listen to Love Story, and then from then it was just kind of constantly playing what I could find on like CD and stuff like that, because I wasn't using any like form of like internet, so I had a couple of CDs,
just
whatever I could take off Ella and stuff like that. And then I didn't put it in here because it's not one that I hear a lot, but she has a song called Mean.
Yeah.
And it's like that was probably one that like it was on repeat. I've probably heard 0.0001 listener for that, because I just used to listen to it so much. Like I would have put that probably in Unmatched instead of The Story of Us, but it was like those two songs like that really got me into Taylor Swift. So.
Nice. You've got a record player at home as well, don't you?
Yeah.
That's quite cool. Not many people have got them.
I know, so I used...
Was that like a Christmas present? Or
my 17th.
Your 17th birthday,
yeah,
a record player?
Birthday. It was really exciting, because my brother was saying to me the other day, like, what were you going to ask for your 18th? And I said, if I didn't get a record player, it would have been that. But now that I've got it, my life's pretty much complete. So. Yeah.
Have you got a good stack of vinyls as well?
Yeah.
Like a recollection?
I was actually also, because there's an artist I really like called Biba Doobie.
Right. Okay.
So I was either going to ask to speak about her or Taylor Swift, but I have loads of records of Biba Doobie, and then I have a Taylor Swift one. So, yeah. But it's like her her more basic one, Reputations.
Yeah. Cool. Right, let's move on to another song. So we've got 3 songs. So we've got August in a classic, You Belong With Me in top tier, and The Story of Us is in your unmatched like top section. What's the fourth one you're going to put down?
Picture to Burn.
Cool. Yeah, I like that one.
It's a very heavily breakup kind of theme song, which is good because it was like her pure revenge era, which is I thought that was so cool. I actually only got into the song recently, and unfortunately it was because of TikTok. But then also it's not as unfortunate because I wouldn't have heard the song if I hadn't saw it. But I'd probably just put this in a classic as well. Nice. Because it's good, but it's not like something that I'd probably put in like top tier. Yeah. So I'll just put it here.
It in the middle. If in doubt, put it in the middle, and then remember you can move them about as they go.
But it was just like, it was pure revenge. It's like a very good, like if you're going through a breakup, it's like something you'd want to listen to. But it's just her talking about like she's over it, like it's another picture to burn, she doesn't care anymore, which I think is pretty empowering. Yeah, it's powerful. Like very girl boss over. So
I think that's Taylor Swift's definitely a feminist icon.
Yeah,
and is
absolutely
really powerful, particularly in everything that's happened in the last sort of 10 to 15 years with like the Me Too movement and all that sort of thing, you know. I
think that's why most like teenage girls and boys like her so much. Yeah. I know personally, like I do like her so much because she is really independent. Yeah. As much like she used to have very much breakup songs and stuff, and it's still mentioned now, but most of it's just about her, which I like. So.
Yeah, powerful woman, definitely. Right, on to the next one.
I'll just do Anti-Hero.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm just going to put it in Pleasant because as much as I'm saying like August was played a lot, nothing compares.
Yeah, this has been absolutely rinsed.
I know, and it's such a shame because this actually reminds me of Lyle a lot, because the day that the album came out, he FaceTimed me and was like, "Oh, have you listened to this?" And I was like, "No, I haven't yet." And he said, "You need to listen. Here's like a good couple of songs you should listen to." And it was this, would have, could have, should have, and You're on Your Own, Kid. And now like every time I hear it, it's nice because it's obviously I don't see him as much anymore. Yeah. But it's like a reminder of him, and then also nice. It's not as great because I heard it so much, which is annoying because it would have been something nice to think, oh, do you know what, this really reminds me of Lyle, but I'm just like, oh, that's so annoying, I hear this so much.
Aye.
But it's still
catchy chorus though.
Very, very catchy chorus. That's probably why my mum's so obsessed with it, because it's words she can actually remember. Which is fair dues.
Imagine it'd be fun to hear that live in a crowd of thousands of people singing back that
probably
bit.
Thousands of mums.
Yeah.
Yeah, for that.
What does it go like again? It's me, hi. I'm the problem, it's me.
Yeah. I don't even want to get into it, to be honest. It's just...
Sounds weird when you speak it.
I know, doesn't it? It sounds like a poem or something. But yeah, it was because she's like very good with her words and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's annoying because see, if I hadn't heard it like as much on TikTok, I would have put that very high up.
Yeah, because as a song in its own right, it's quite good.
It's just annoying when a song's kind of ruined like that. Yeah. But it happens, so
yeah. Do you think Taylor Swift's underrated as a songwriter? Actually, I think she doesn't get much credit for the lyrics that she puts out because they're nice.
And it's like controversial because most people are like, well, she's just gone through a lot of breakups. Yeah. I'm like, well, if it means that she gets to write all these great songs, then I know what's bad about that.
Aye. So it always annoys me about that because, like, say Harry Styles wrote a breakup album or something like that. I'm not having a go before you say that, Abby. I'm just saying he'd never get criticised for that.
No, people would go crazy over it. Yeah. People would be like, "This is the best song I've ever heard," but because it's Taylor Swift, they're like, "Oh, this is all she writes about. Like, this is so boring. This is rubbish." Aye. So it's
definitely a bit of kind of hidden sexism in music that absolutely. Unfortunately is still there. That is hard to look past sometimes.
Which is really annoying.
Anyway, let's push it on to the next song.
You said this one's oddly small. I don't know why.
Is this the one that you've written?
Yeah.
Style? I like that song. That's a good one.
I don't listen to this as much anymore. But see, when this came out, this was it for me. Like this
it was the one.
This was amazing. This kept me up at night. Like I thought about this every day. And probably like the memory that stands out is I was going to a wee place. I can't remember. It was down in Inverness, I think. And I was going to stay with like my mum and dad's like friends group. And we were going down to this wee lodge. It was great. And I had this album on repeat.
Yeah.
And it was this song in particular. And
is that from Red or is that a different album?
No, it's not from Red. What's it? 19...
Aye, no, it's not 1819 or something like that. I
can't remember. It's not from that though. I can't even remember. This is horrible.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
See, if I had my phone, I could tell you.
Can you Google that, Abby, please? Thank you.
You can tell us.
We've now got a producer.
I thought it might be. No, I think it is 1819 or whatever that album is. I'll never remember. Numbers don't.
1989.
See, that's what I thought.
Is that when Taylor Swift was born? Is that why it's called 1989?
I think so. I'd hope so. But
anyway, so your memories are driving up to Inverness and having that album on repeat?
It was like I had these huge bulky like Sony headphones and I was like crammed in the back of the car with my sister and my brother and I was listening to this and I thought I was in a movie. Like I thought I was the one. I was like, there is somebody out there watching me on the TV right now. Aye. I was like having my head against the window and I was like lip syncing to it and I was like, this is it.
With the James Dean Daydream look in your eye.
And I was just like,
that was underrated.
Yeah, but I was like, this is the song for me. This is the one. So I would put it on Match, but I'm not going to take The Story of Us out.
It's one of those ones where you...
Yeah, I'm going to put it in top tier,
though. Top tier.
Yeah.
Cool. I like the guitar riff in that song. It's very catchy.
I think, like, especially that album, just all of it was... I think I've got Wildest Dreams in here. That is always going to be a big one for me.
Yeah.
But I'll do Love Story next, because this is kind of a basic one, but it's one that, like, I can always go back to, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's one that I'll always listen to. I'm definitely only going to put it in a classic because it's just one that you listen to when you put on a Taylor Swift Essentials.
Yeah, aye.
It's a good one, see, especially, like, to sing. This is a good one.
It has got the best key change of all time.
I really need to, like, find out how many, like, plays this has. Like, I'd love to know.
Must be hundreds.
Can you type that up too?
How many Spotify streams is...
Love Story by Taylor Swift got, but it must be like absolutely wild. But it is just such a good song, and again, it's like very teenage. Like, it's what everybody like when I would have listened to it, because I wouldn't have listened to it like till I was a bit older and enjoyed it. Like I'm saying, I heard it when I was about 9, but then when I got to school and I was like 13, and it was like an S1 when you just you were like trying to discover yourself. This is the one. Like I was like, this is gonna be my life. Like I'm gonna have this great high school experience, but. It's very teenage, it's very like love story, but it is overplayed, unfortunately.
Yeah, aye.
I hear it way too much. I like see a lot of references about it, but again, it's Taylor Swift, so it's not bad.
Yeah.
So I will put it in a classic.
Stick it in a classic.
And
756 million streams
there you go. So
that's
as I said,
unbelievable.
Unfortunately, it's a bit overplayed, but it is still a really good song. So I would never put it anything below a classic, because I'd never hit skip. But I'd never just call it pleasant, unlike Anti-Hero.
See, when you're listening to music, do you have like how many playlists? Do you have playlists for different scenarios, or how does it work?
It annoys me that I do, because I like to keep everything in like one place. But I must have about 96 playlists separately, because I like to make playlists of songs that I'm listening to at that moment.
Yeah.
So like that month, I'll make a playlist for that month, like what I've been listening to, and then I've got like a gym playlist and like
road trip playlist and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then I've got like the old school songs that I'll always go back to. So probably I'm pretty sure I've got Love Story in my like older
just like the greatest hits sort of thing.
So if it's like songs, sometimes I try to forget about a song so I can go back and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that's probably like that's what I've got in there, like those kind of songs.
Cool. Right, let's move on to the next one.
I won't speak too much about Wildest Dreams either, because I was saying I liked it from that album anyway, but it is just a good song. And then this was also one of the ones I was listening to when I was on that trip, and it's just like, see, from like being that young and enjoying a song so much, it's kind of weird. Like, you feel like you don't really understand as much, but this was like really a good song. And the word, like, it was just, I don't know, it's something that you feel like you'd hear in good scenarios, and it was very romantic, and it was just like very well worded as well. So I'll put that in top tier.
In top tier, good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice one. We've got, how many have we got down so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool, we've got 8 songs down so far. Good stuff. Have you got in your own head what you think is the ones in here? Or are you thinking as you go? Have you sort of pre-planned it?
Well, I have what in my head what I think I'll put in Unmatched, but I don't know if it will change as I'm talking about them.
Cool.
So our song is one that I really like. As we're all aware, I like singing this song. This was like her country prime. Like
peak country Taylor,
this was it was so good. It was like her accent was so strong. Like I just love it. I'm quite a big person on country, and like hearing her sing it was just unreal. And the actual song is so good, and like I'm saying, it's very romantic and stuff. And I'm not really into stuff like that, but it's just Taylor Swift, so it's so good.
Yeah.
And we have one of those like cars that the roof comes down, and I remember when my sister had first passed, like we listened to this on repeat with the roof down. So that's always like hearing it now, I will always think of my sister, and like it was the lockdown when Ella had passed, so we were listening to this like past her test, and we were listening to this in the car, and we were like going to get petrol. Like it wasn't even an important thing because obviously you couldn't go anywhere in the lockdown. So although it's like a really dull time for everyone, like this song will always bring back like better memories about it, because we used to like make loads of TikToks, and I'd never been closer to my sister before than during this period. So this is always a song that's like really nice to hear.
That's really powerful, that what you've said there.
And it's not. No, absolutely not, Abby. Why would you say that? But
you need to get Abby a microphone as well so that she can contribute off camera.
But no, I really like this song, so I am going to put it in Unmatched. I know I was only going to put one right, but I'll decide at the end which one I'll.
Okay. So you're going to pick the best out of the Unmatched ones? Yeah. See, just when you were talking about COVID, so it's been almost 3 years, I think, to the day.
It is. It's been 3 years now since they announced.
The sort of first, which is crazy to think about how much time has passed since then.
And that's also why it's probably like only now have I like gone back and listened to that song. And it's weird because I think to myself, like, there is loads of people were in a really low point in their lives like during that, but then also there was good parts. Quite a lot of people came out, like different people.
Yeah.
Like I came back to school after that, and I like was looking about, and I was like, who even are?
Wow, really?
Well, I would never speak to Abby. Like I think I spoke to her a good couple of times. We did the Strictly before we left for.
Had you done a school show at that point?
We had, but we were never really that close, and we both had very different like groups of friends. But we came back and we were all really different, and we got put in music together for hire, and then I can confidently say she's probably one of my best friends now. Like I don't know what, and I wouldn't even if I was in a higher class and that lockdown didn't happen, I probably still wouldn't have spoke to her. But it was just really different because we both came back like completely different people. So obviously there was bad points, and nobody did have a great time. But it probably did shape quite.
It formed a lot of personality. When you think about it, when you went into lockdown, you'd be what, 13, 14, and now you're 18 now, aren't you? So,
I'm about to turn 18,
which is just crazy.
September, but. We're about to leave school. Abby just turned 18, and that's wild. Like she is. It's mad
to think that before COVID, you were in what, halfway through third year?
Was it?
And
14,
and now it doesn't even seem that much time has passed, and now you're leaving school in a few weeks.
That just is so weird. Like it is so weird, but it's nice to think like, and also it's nice to have had predicted marks instead of having to sit exams for a year.
Aye.
But like I can confidently say as well, it wasn't a great time for anyone, but there was probably points that people enjoyed.
There's certain nostalgia elements of lockdown I think people like.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, to be fair, probably comes down to music and have more time to sit and do things like going on road trips and sitting just in the house listening to your favourite songs. I
would never really have time because I did quite a couple of things like before the lockdown. Like I went to like dance classes and acting classes and stuff like that. It wasn't really my cup of tea, but I met good people, so I never really wanted to leave. But during that, like I had a good time to sit down in my room and enjoy music, and then also I was quite big on the TikTok, so like I was big on posting. I had like 10 followers, but
10 followers.
It wasn't. I don't think it was 10. It was like 40 or something.
Oh right, okay.
But I would just sit and like confidently post all these videos, and I wasn't even like bothered about it. Like I wasn't ashamed. I was like, I'll never see these people again. But I did.
I know.
I was like, we're all gonna be stuck inside forever.
You just think the world had ended.
But I guess that was something good that came out of it, because again, like if that didn't happen, I would never have felt confident enough to actually post something like that.
Yeah.
So that was quite good. But
look at you now, like applying to do music and stuff. Like,
I know.
When you leave school,
it's weird.
Incredible.
Again, like I probably wouldn't have thought to do that because I was very set on doing like in school counselling for like secondary school, and then
as a career, like working as that,
and doing like stuff like that for uni, and then I came back to school and I was like, no, I don't want to do that at all. I want to sing. So that was good, and I probably wouldn't be where I am right now, like sitting here talking to you if I didn't want to do that. So yeah, it's fair.
Fantastic. Right, move on to another song.
I want to choose Lover next because I've got some pretty strong memories about this song from this class because this is what I sang for
sang it for higher
exam. I won't get too into it though, but it was a good song. It's quite difficult to sing because she's got a very...
She does that my bit at the end, like over and over again,
and it's very like your voice goes really dry and stuff like that. But it is a good song and it's really from the heart, like you can tell. But it's upbeat as well. Like it's nice because she's talking about like they can laze around together, like but then she still loves him as much as what she always has and stuff like that. So it's in contrast to what she normally writes about, but it's still like a really good song.
It's a great song.
And I enjoyed singing it, and I thought it was a good one for my exam, and I did score.
Yeah, you scored well on that. Yeah, it's a good song.
I'll put this in a classic.
A classic. I think that's probably a fair place to put it.
Because it's not my favourite, but it's not bad. So.
Yep. Did you keep the Christmas lights up till January?
Unfortunately not.
It's like I gave a try to slip in Taylor Swift lyrics into this.
I was gonna actually speak them, but I just the way like speaking lyrics is so strange.
It's really weird.
I know. But what was I gonna say? Your hand gets pure warm holding this, mate.
I know.
That's what I was gonna say. But I'll do All Too Well next. But I don't like is it 15 minutes? 14?
Is it 10 minutes?
Oh, is it 10 minutes? Where did I get 15 minutes from, Jesus? I don't like that very much.
Is it just too much? It's too many verses.
Yeah, I can't keep a song on for more than 2 minutes. Do you know who's really bad at that as well? See, Ava, that's in our class. If we're at like a social event and she's like on aux, it changes. I don't mind
that actually.
But I don't
so
mind
annoying.
it because I'm just as bad, and then my sister's horrible for it.
She's putting a song for 10 seconds. Oh no, I'm doing something else.
Well, Ella does this thing where if we're in the car with my dad, right, and she's playing a song and she's like, oh no, this is a good song, and she'll change it, and my dad will be like, just choose a song and put the phone down.
Stick with the song,
But I'm really bad for it as well. But it's not like, I don't always think it's a bad thing, but see when you listen to a song, you're like, oh, this is going to be great, and then you realise, oh, it's actually
a bit of an anticlimax.
It's not as great as what I thought it was going to be. But All Too Well, I just couldn't sit and listen
to
10
minutes.
For 10 minutes. So I did, see when it first came out, and she did like the video with like Sadie Sink, that, and what was the boy's name, Abby? Who's the famous guy that was in the All Too Well video?
Is it the person that they wrote the song about? Because that's that Jake Gyllenhaal guy.
Oh no, it's not.
Is that his name, Gyllenhaal?
It was the guy from... oh no.
An actor or a...
Somebody will be watching this.
Like a Taylor Swift fan and like S3 will be screaming at this right now.
Jake Gyllenhaal is who she wrote most of her songs about, I think, like the more recent ones. But there was a guy, I can't remember. I think his name is Jake or something. Dylan.
Who is that? Is it an actor?
Dylan something. I can't remember. It's gonna really upset. Dylan O'Brien. Does he exist? Did I make him up?
I'm not great for actors.
Who?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Was he in the video?
No, surely he wouldn't be in the video if that was who the song was about.
In the video.
I know that song was about him.
It was, yeah.
Because there's that lyric about how it's her 21st birthday or something and he doesn't turn up for it.
Yeah, So it is about him, but Dylan who? Yeah,
Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah, so I was right.
Good knowledge, Annie.
Yeah,
well done.
He's in, I think, is there a movie called The Labyrinth or like The Maze or something?
Possibly.
I think he stars in it, maybe.
So he also plays a part in
really
the video.
Big. He's really, really famous, so it was great that he got to be part of it, and then Sadie Sink's an unreal actress. So the only reason I would have watched it was because like fangirling over them two, but it's like emotional, it's good. Like even the starting line, like I walk through the door, like that's it's nice. Like it's just, it starts this really high point of our life and of a relationship, and it just goes down and down and down. So it's a good song, it's touching, but I just couldn't sit
it's
through
extremely repetitive.
So I'm actually, believe it or not, going to put it in Pleasant, which is it's
Fair
unfortunate.
Enough. I do like it, but the more we actually talk about it and explain the reason behind it, I get it.
And also, it was very big when it came out, so I just kept hearing it and hearing it, so that was kind of annoying. But it still is a good song, and like people are probably punching through the screen that I'd even say that, but
there's one thing I do, again, let's come back to Taylor Swift, the feminist icon. See, when it's about there's a swear word in this, so I can't say it, but it's to do with the patriarchy. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just something about the tossing the car keys.
I know, I've got a wee keyring on my car keys.
Do you?
Let's say
it's
that,
just, again, it's just like, just like in one sentence, she's explained a lot about what's wrong with society. You know what I mean?
Which is great clever. Because, like, I don't know, like, about you, Abby, but I think it's like a big thing for us, especially because I think most boys in high school can be quite sexist towards girls.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
It's rubbish, but it's just kind of true. And like, girls could be just as bad to boys, but just like stereotypically speaking, like that's what it was like. So I think going through school and hearing all this like from a really famous person, it's like you do relate to them.
It's very relatable, yeah.
So it's like, it's not just happened to you, it happens to other people everywhere, which is like a nice thing to like have. So yeah, I guess that's good.
Brilliant. I was just, before we move on to the next song, see how like all these songs have been released as Taylor's version. Is that so? That's when I first heard that song, was like, oh, well, what's the difference between that? Like, where does that all come from?
So I don't know all too well, but I know she brought out Fearless, Taylor's version recently, which is a whole album, but the songs have already been released. But now I think is that true, that the songs have already been released, and then now, however many years later, 10 years later or something, she re-records them. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's what I've heard. That's in the news about it.
I don't know if that came twice, but I know like Love Story and all that she re-sung quite recently, and they were all great, but I think I'd always go back to the original, to be honest. It's just, but I'd love to do something like that if I was like a rock star. Like, I'd
just take ownership over your own songs again.
So like if I'd first came out and I was signed with this big label, and then they asked me to sing a really certain way, and then I'm really independent. And now I could sing however I wanted to. Like, I'd like to do something like that. I think that's also like a big sense of like empowerment.
Absolutely.
So that's what.
Particularly for the female artists, because often like you get a lot of these record labels are owned by predominantly white males, and often they pull all the strings in the industry. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, right, move on to the next one.
So do you know, I did say that I wasn't gonna put any in hit skip, but this is the only one I would.
Okay.
So this is only in here because I was writing these earlier on with my friend Hannah, and I said, oh, what Taylor Swift songs do you know? And I was like, maybe I'll take one off Hannah. And then she went, oh, do you know what song I love? Don't Blame Me. And I was like, oh, that's really grim. And then I started singing it, and I was like, right, do you know what, I will just put it in. So I was like, it'll either be in the second bottom or the bottom, but I was listening to it earlier on after she'd spoke about it, and I was like, it's just not her best song.
Yeah, it's like, just a bit underwhelming, really.
And I think like all these songs are great, like all of them, and she's a great singer, but this didn't really
didn't quite hit the spot for you.
Not as much as the rest of them did, so that's going there. I'm sorry, Hannah, if you're watching this, I know you do like that song. She said that's her favourite and like the only Taylor Swift song that she listens to.
Oh, and that's in your skipping one.
I know, unfortunately.
You gotta think, it's amazing how many songs she's actually released when you think about them. Like, it's insane.
I was going through them, and I could have, if I had wrote them all, I could have had
about like hundreds.
Which is really impressive, because I think sometimes with like artists, they release an album, stop for 8 years.
Or somebody does like a different side project,
Do you know, because Hannah was saying to me earlier on, oh, you should have done Lana Del Rey, and I like love.
Oh, that's a shout, actually.
I love Lana Del Rey, but she just recently she's been really quiet.
Yeah, she's not put much out recently.
But see, like her old songs, she's got so much unreleased, and she's got all these great albums from back then, and like I can't say the name of one of them because it's got a swear word in it, but she had this one, and it was Normal Rockwell. Yeah. And it's great. It's like so good. The whole album's just unmatched. But just recently, like there wouldn't be enough to talk about because she hasn't released a lot. She's releasing a new album, and she released a song, I think it was like A&W recently, but she had on this new album, she was only releasing them bit by bit, and she brought one out called Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard? All right. That's the name of the song. So she does have a few that are just so long.
Is it so different to her traditional style? Does it sound a bit odd, or?
Yeah, it's like pure, it's just really slow, and it's kind of dreary, but some of her songs, like I'm saying, are just unmatched.
I like Summertime Sadness and Video Games. Yeah, two of my favourite.
Summertime Sadness is probably the one that everybody will know. Yeah. Video Games is nice. I felt like that was really big over the lockdown as well. Yeah. But she does have such great songs. Some of them are quite like very sweary, like quite harsh topics, but it is like a very mature thing. Probably listening to her albums could mature you for life. Yeah.
I think when you're doing these ranking the greatest songs, you need to have an artist that's had like at least 5 or 6 really successful albums. Otherwise, you probably don't have enough to pick from.
Yeah, we were talking, me, Hannah, and Lyle. So he also, they both love Lana Del Rey, and we were talking about an album, and I was like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Like, and they were talking about a song, and I was like, I've never heard that in my life. I've never heard anyone speak about that in my life, which is so strange because you think you like an artist so much that you'd know everything. But I was just like, I've never heard that in my life.
Yeah.
But, oh well. I'll move on, and I'll choose Blank Space.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe I said I wasn't going to put any in hit skip, because I'm also going to put this.
Are you?
In there. I put this in because I thought you might know it.
Yeah, I do know that one.
Yeah. So it's good, and like I'm saying, everything by Taylor Swift is great.
Yeah.
But it's just played so much.
It's a bit cringy for me.
And see that, I think, do you know what ruined it for me even more? It was the video, like the music video.
I've not seen it. What's going on in there?
If I'm right, because I'm worried now that, like, see when I'm talking about it, that
yeah,
I might
is
be
it
wrong.
fact checked it?
But I think you can nod if you think this is right, that she's in like a big mansion, and she like pure takes her revenge, and she, like, I'm pretty sure like she throws glass about and like cake about and stuff like that. It was really, really weird.
You're getting the nod of approval. That must be right.
I know, I'm hoping it's right.
Producer Abby's nod of approval.
I know, right, okay, I'm assuming it's right then. But it was just weird. Like, it was so weird. And I think the song itself, see if I hadn't watched the video, it would probably be up there. But I saw it, and for some reason, like when it came out, I was really addicted to watching it.
Really?
Like I have a thing for watching music videos, and I just watched it to the point that I was like, this is really, really weird. This is weird from her. So yeah. It's just gonna go
Stick it in there.
Yeah, hit skip for me. Okay,
we've got 3 left.
Yeah.
There's a couple of big hitters that you've missed out so far. I wonder if they're going to come up. They're just but very mainstream ones that like non-Taylor Swift fans would probably know.
These 3?
Well, I'm thinking like ones that I'm thinking of just now.
Oh, really?
You've not said yet. But I wonder if they'll come up with. I can't see it from there. So what have you put for the last couple?
This is called Delicate. So this is from Reputation, and I really like this because at the start of it, it's almost like a spoken bit.
Oh yeah.
So it's like her speaking, and it's basically her saying like, "Listen up." This is like her reputation's ever been worse, right? So that's like the lyrics, and then it's her saying like the person she's with must like her for actually being her because her reputation's so bad. But it's like a really strange way to kind of promote yourself.
Okay.
But it was just, the whole album was so successful. This song was so successful, and it was really well worded, and just the way she sung it as well. Like I'm saying, like the spoken bit, it wasn't exactly spoken, but it was almost as if it was like spoken singing.
Yeah, not full singing.
So I will put that in top tier, just because I like that.
Nice one.
See,
Delicate.
I know.
Sure.
I did try. Like I would see if I could sing that, like her voice. I would 100% sing that, but like because she's American.
I think it only works in her. You'd have to like, sing her. You'd have to speak in her accent, and that becomes a bit weird.
I know, because I just sound so fake. Like I can't do a good accent, so I just couldn't do that.
Well, see, I was funny you should say that. So see, when you sing, like when you sing in your singing voice, you do sound like you're from America.
I know. Well, I can't like. Singing in Scottish is a really weird thing. Is
that deliberate? So see, when you sing a piece of like any song, do you like sing it just in your own way rather than try to copy that? I've always wondered this to people that sing. So have you got like your own singing voice rather than just?
No, so
you know what I mean?
I don't. Like I just, I think it's almost as if I try and impersonate.
Model on them.
I think like Abby can probably agree. Like, no offense to Scottish, because I love being Scottish.
Amy McDonald.
It just sounds really bad. Like I really like Amy McDonald. Actually, I went and saw her, and she was great.
Yeah, she was
absolutely amazing. And there was a song by her that really stands out to me as well called Barrowland Ballroom, and I love that. And I'd sing that like in my own accent.
Yeah.
And it's just like anything else. I'm just like, this is really, really silly.
I don't think it works. I think you just sound like you're trying to be the Proclaimers or something like that. And it just sounds a bit
like you're trying to make a whole new song out of a song that's already been released.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas like that sort of country accent that you usually sing in, when I've heard you sing, it just sort of sounds nice, you know. It
just sounds better than me pure being like, oh, like, you know what I mean? It's just, I think it just works better for me as well, because sometimes I don't think I sound that Scottish anyway. Like I don't sound anything but Scottish, but I just don't think I've got a very strong.
You've got quite a sort of like a neutral accent. You don't have an accent, you know.
It's not as if like I have this really strong like sharp accent. It's just kind of there.
So I think it would just sound like you were trying too hard to be Scottish.
It's like,
you know,
it's like I'm trying to put on a Scottish accent for a song that's not Scottish.
Yeah, it's just a strange dynamic. You know? So what have we get for the last couple? Then we'll pick your undisputed, unmatched song.
So Better Than Revenge.
Okay, yeah, recognise that one as well.
Again, this is like during her really great revenge kind of era. Yeah. This is a really good one, and this is one like I don't hear much on social media. I don't hear many people listen to. I don't know if I'm just on like the wrong side, but Yeah, I really like this song. I listen to it a lot. So if anyone was to ruin it for me, unfortunately, it'd be me because I just listen to it so much. But
do you remember the first time you encountered this song?
I think it might have been on SoundCloud actually, which is weird. I don't use SoundCloud, but sometimes when you listen to songs, so I was listening to an unreleased song of hers, I think, and this had gone like it forms a playlist, I'm pretty sure, on SoundCloud, so it just plays songs like by her continuously, and this came on, I was like, I've never heard this before, like it's great. So I downloaded it to the streaming service I use, and I just listened to it so much, but it's good for like I find it really motivating. I don't know why. I don't have anything. I don't have anything to get revenge over. But like, see if I'm in the gym and I'm like, I want to go home. I don't want to be here. I listen to this.
Yeah, motivates you to
do things.
push on. Yeah.
So I'll put that in top tier as well.
Nice one. So that's
5 and
better than revenge and top tier. That's okay. I mean, the system is very loose.
Yeah. Well,
just do what you want.
I probably couldn't have. What I can't read through that far. What are the first? I put Wildest Dreams
in the top tier one. So You Belong With Me, Style, Wildest Dreams, Delicate, and Better Than Revenge are all top tier Taylor Swift songs according to you.
I'm gonna keep them there.
I like the fact you've put a wee crown on this as well.
Yeah, well, I tried to.
I've only just noticed this is here as well.
Yeah, well, I kept them. We were gonna wear these tiaras because the Theory Queen, and I
am the Theory Queen.
Yeah, well, actually, there is a sign in this classroom that I provided, and it says the Theory Queen, but I'm not quite the Theory Queen. I just wanted to wear a crown.
Yep.
But the headphones
don't work with.
Yeah, they kind of restrict us, and then also it was like yanking my hair out.
Yeah. They're very nice. Where did you get these from?
Did you want to buy some?
Not really. I'm just interested.
I think it was from Amazon.
Why have you got them? Did you buy them for this?
For the podcast.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I think they cost me £2, so that's like really hard earned money. I mean,
that's the first money that's been spent on this podcast at all.
Do you know what? Save money where you can.
Thanks very much. That's extremely kind of you.
See, you can keep them now, and if Luke comes back,
if we get Luke back on, then he can wear that.
Luke, you're wearing this if you're coming back on, right?
Mr. Christie with the tiara.
Yeah, all the Mr. Christies can wear a tiara. All of them.
Get them all lined up.
All the glockenspiel straighteners.
Yes.
We were laughing actually because in his podcast, I wouldn't have noticed it if Abby hadn't, and you said, yeah, so it just started because somebody had asked you to straighten the glockenspiels, and he went, told me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's just really
he's so funny.
I know, and sometimes like he says like things I don't think he realizes he's saying, and it's just great.
Yeah.
Like see when I see him in the halls, it's great. It's great fun. I do. He's a great guy.
I was speaking to him today, and I was like, "You looking forward to your exam, Luke? 'Cause he's got his music exam next week." And he was like, right. "Oh yeah, it's a laugh a minute these exams."
What?
He's like, "Oh, it's a laugh a minute these exams." He's just he is an amazing guy.
He is, and it's weird because like I wouldn't have spoke to him if we weren't in music at the same time.
Yeah. See, the music department is where true friendships are made.
It's very true. If you're thinking about taking music, I really recommend.
For the social element of it. I know.
We actually bullied Abby's wee sister into taking it, so everybody else should take it now. Mm-hmm. See, when Mr. Sly found out that Abby's wee sister wasn't taking it,
that was a dark day.
He was really upset. He was like, I don't even know. We were looking at you. We were like, what do we even say? Because you were just
heartbroken.
You were like, what? Why is this happening?
It was up there with one of the lowest days in this school so far. There hasn't been many, to be fair, but that was right up there with trying to think of other low points. It's usually involved around pupils dropping music.
You know what it is? The lowest point is when we weren't put in your class this year.
Yeah,
that's probably quite a low point. Our class last year was unreal. It was a great class.
It was some combination of people.
I think, like, see, especially this time last year, it was like the absolute prime of our higher class. Like, just loads of funny things happening.
Coming into the prime.
And I remember you were off and Mr. Craig was covering, and I think it was like a couple of days.
I think I know what you're going to say here.
It was a couple of days before the.
It was right before the exams, yeah.
So we were all in here and Ryden,
yes.
The absolute...
Ryden will never watch this.
I know, but do you know what? If any of his siblings maybe are...
I think his younger sister, Kayleen, is a massive Taylor Swift fan. So she'll be watching this going, should have picked that song.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, continue your story.
So we were in here and this time last year. It would have been because we were about to leave
I had COVID, I think that's what I was in.
It was, and we were all like, oh yeah, no test, because we were doing a test. And Mr. Craig, he came in and he was like, you're doing a test. And we were like, are you serious?
Kicking off.
Are you actually serious? Like on the last day before our exam, this is absolutely wild. This is not fair. And because you weren't here, it was just it was absolutely relentless. Like, people, I remember because we were sitting up there and riding, he turned around and he was like, did anyone else put Aki Akachura?
Go on, do
that?
his accent. Please do his accent.
I don't want to.
That's what I was waiting for you doing.
It's so American.
Yeah.
It's great. It's like a really great accent. He's like, did anyone else put Aki Akachura? And I was like, and we were all howling, weren't we? We were in tears. Like, we were like, this is actually not real. It's amazing. And we actually all ended up putting it. I think we all got it wrong. But it's just like things like that. Again, would never have spoke to any of those F6 boys before.
Yeah.
But this class, it was just great. And like even now, like my advanced higher class is obviously great, but higher's just a bit more relaxed because
I think you get longer to like
do things.
And it's you get 6 timetabled periods, and it's a bit more structured, you know.
And advanced higher's just there's a lot more to learn than
it's very
what you think.
It's supposed to be very pupil led as well, so that can be hard as well.
We had to not teach ourselves a lot of things because obviously great teacher Miss Hood, she's like teaching us theory. Mr. Ness, the musical genius, is teaching us practical, but sometimes there's going to be situations where we are just going to have to teach ourselves things, and
that is hard. Like, there's no denying that's a tough thing to do.
Because Abby has this pure teacher persona though, so she's pure like, right guys, this is what we need to do, and this is why we need to do it. So that gives us a bit.
I always thought that about Abby. She would be an amazing teacher.
I know you would, which is weird because that's not even remotely the path that I think you want to go down. So she's going like this, so maybe it's still on the options, but.
Anyway, before we waffle on, is this still recording? I always have I've saying this to Sean last time. Imagine it didn't hit. What does it tell you what time it's at? No, I don't. Is that all it is? 45 minutes? I thought it was longer than that.
For ages.
Right, what's your last one?
So The Man. This is from
like this one.
Lover. This is a good song, and it's very as well. This is very empowering. Like this is like true feminist. Which this is why I was going to say to Hannah earlier on. She needs to listen to this. Like me and her are both very much like feminists. Yeah, like this. Yeah. She's the most feminist person I know. Yeah. It's amazing. Like I love her so much for it. She's so great, and she's very much like girls supporting girls, which is hard to find a lot of sometimes. But this song's like really good because it's her talking about like she's sick of running as fast as she can, and she's wondering if like she would get there quicker if she was a guy, basically. Like would things be easier for her if she wasn't a woman? And then it was basically her saying like it shouldn't be like that. She should be able to do things just as well as men. Yeah. Which I think is just a great thing. And like I'm saying, it's like it's sometimes girls could probably lose, like they'll have self-doubt because
absolutely
things that have been said to them or things that get spoke about in media. But this song, like when I was kind of struggling with that sort of thing, I listened to this a lot. I think like seeing like S4 to like S5 especially was when boys, they were kind of maturing and they were still kind of immature. So I wasn't getting like, I wasn't getting treated badly, but it was just like boys didn't know what was nice and what wasn't nice.
It's sometimes just these wee subtle comments you hear in the corridor every day.
It's like passive aggressive comments. But this song, like as I listen to it, I kind of look back at it and I'm like, that is so ridiculous. Yeah. Like that, I like things like that bother me. But it is a good song, and like I'm saying, like it probably said a lot to me at the time. So I'm gonna just pop it here.
Pop it in classic. This is one of the best music videos you could ever watch as well.
It is. It's good. Yeah.
It was International Women's Day last week. Did you know that?
I did know that because I saw a lot on Facebook. I thought, what?
Was it on your birthday, Abby? All right, cool.
Yeah, but that's a good day to have your birthday, International Women's Day. But I like that that's a thing, you know, like.
You'll always get these boys going, oh, why there's not. I think there actually is an International Women's Day, but that's regardless of the point. It's like
but because I like see that as well, and always see when it's certain days of the year and boys try and make a joke about it. Like I won't get into it because it's not fair, but just I remember somebody said to me at one point, oh, are you celebrating this because of this? And I was like, that's not funny. I know. But like I'm saying, like it's nothing to do with genders, like it's just in this, like for me and my experience, I've just not had as much off a girl as I had like off a boy. But I think it's fair have a Women's Day, have a Men's Day, but I don't think, like I know my friends, especially like my girlfriends, would care more than my boyfriends. Yeah, like about things like that.
And this song sort of touches a lot about why there is a need for International Women's Day in society.
I know, because sometimes women just think they would do so much better if they weren't women, which is annoying.
There's so many inequalities that are really noticeable still.
I know, but she speaks about it really well and really freely, which is nice. But I know, like there's probably so many men that struggle with the same thing, that they think like, oh, life would be so much easier for me if I was a woman, and that's like heartbreaking, because it's almost as if you're in the same position, but people can't really appreciate that.
Yeah. Aye.
And it's annoying, because like I'm saying, like stereotypically, like boys have just ruined a lot of things for other boys.
Yeah, and there is always this reputation as well, is that men don't talk about stuff. Like females open up, men don't talk, and that's why there's a male mental health crisis as well. So it's a difficult one.
Like she talks a lot about that, and I think like as much as it's called the man, like it could be taken in many ways, even by guys, like if the roles were reversed, which is really fair. And I think especially coming from somebody so mainstream and popular, it is nice, and it's like you feel. It's almost like you feel kind of close to somebody that is that big. But yeah,
an amazing song to round off a really great collection of songs. There's a few honourable mentions I want to ask about your sort of songs that you've not said yet.
Okay.
To get your opinion on them before you pick your greatest.
Okay.
So these are all songs that I remember from high school. 22. Did you not think about including that? Is this just too overplayed?
I didn't put any from Red in, but I do really like 22. But it's one of the ones I don't really listen to. Like I listened to it for a bit, and then I was like, is this that good? See, when I'm 22, I'll probably listen to it. Like, not classic. Even because it's called 22, but I'll just listen to it so ironically.
Yeah, ironically.
Like, I'll be like, I'm 22 now, so I need to listen to this.
Yeah. What about You Belong? Oh, we did that one.
Yeah.
We Are Never Getting Back Together.
Rubbish song.
Nah, that's terrible. That is a terrible song.
Yeah. Which is so, like I'm saying,
not a finest moment.
I'm like, everything by Taylor Swift's so good. That song's rubbish.
See the bit where she speaks in the middle? Oh, yeah. That's so embarrassing.
No, it's like making me cringe. I completely forgot about that, and now you said that, I can hear her saying it in my head.
Yeah, it's like, so he calls me up, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's so bad.
It's so bad.
Like, see, like I'm saying, it's so bad, but I could listen to it and enjoy it because it's Taylor Swift.
It's funny.
But it's just like...
Yeah, personal favourite from my high school days. Me and my friend used to listen to it on the bus on the way home. Ironically, in that 5th year, Shake It Off. Watching. It's getting nothing back from you though. I love that song. I don't actually love that. I can hear you laughing behind this camera. I don't actually love that song. It just makes me laugh.
It's so... Do you know how I was saying earlier on, like, what? No, this is what I was going to say ruins it for me. The music video, have you saw it? The music video.
No.
And we'll show you after this, right? But it's so bad, and she's like pure dancing, and it's not bad, but it's just like...
It's just so happy. I love the fact that it's so happy.
Maybe that's why. Like, it's great that she's singing something different, but I was just like, this is absolutely dreadful. Like, this is so bad.
Well, the haters gonna hate.
You asked about that song so you could say that.
No, I didn't actually.
Yes, you did so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there it is.
Does that not also get a bit where she speaks in the middle and it's really embarrassing? Or am I thinking of something? Maybe I'm thinking of a different song.
You sing it in your head and then tell us if you remember.
No, I'm thinking of a different one. Does she?
Yeah, my ex-man brought us.
Yeah, that bit. Oh my god.
Oh, that's so cringe. Like thinking about it. Oh, it makes me want to barf.
Yeah, to this sick beat.
She didn't need to finish it. You didn't need to finish it off, but thanks.
Yeah. Is she the way when she says the word, me and my friend, he will never watch this, because me and my friend just always joke about it. See, when she says beat, she goes like an ah noise after. She's like, this sick beat.
That's so hard.
You know, like when you have a can of juice and it's really refreshing.
Oh, no.
Anyway, sorry, we've strayed away from all the good songs and just started talking about silly Taylor Swift songs. Yeah. Right, so you're now tasked with the job of identifying your favourite song from the two that you've put in the unmatched category.
So I know I was like, oh yeah, The Story Was my ultimate fave, but see, after like hearing myself out loud talking about our song, I think I'd probably choose that.
Our song.
I was just thinking about like as I was talking about it, because like I'm saying, it really, my whole lockdown like revolved around that song.
Yeah.
Like it was just always there. It's so cringe like saying that, but it was just it was like a nice thing. So I think that would probably be like my unmatched. It deserves like
the ultimate. We'll put this off camera to the top of the tree. Yeah. So our song by Taylor Swift is ranked as your greatest song. I know as well that you're a fan of the Smiths too. I know this is not to do with Taylor Swift as well.
So I did. Do you know what? This is actually reminded me. So Mr. Merrick, right? I don't know if you could hear me saying the other day. I was talking to him, and he has this thing now that he really wants to start listening to Spotify while doing his work.
Yeah.
And I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, he's got the Spotify tab up as he's doing stuff. Yeah.
So he was saying, you like the Smiths? And I was like, yeah, do you know what, they're okay. Like, I kind of got it off my dad. It's like, so what do you like? I was like, very mainstream stuff. Like, I don't listen to them much anymore. And he was like, let me play you some great tunes. And he just went through like all his favourite Smith songs.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Was it back catalogue Smith stuff?
Yeah. Stuff that I hadn't heard before. And it was nice. Like, it was random because I didn't think he would be the kind of person to
He's
enjoy
got
them.
probably the most like diverse music taste of anybody I've ever known.
Because sure, he was always into like pure GBX, like techno stuff.
He loves, like, he's very much he'd probably admit this to you himself, he's very much a music nerd and a music snob to a certain extent, and like his Spotify is incredible. Like, he's got all these different genres that he likes. And
do you know what? I get the vibe that he really likes like music concrete. Like, see that?
I don't think he likes music. Nobody likes music concrete.
No, I think he'd like the pure like real life noises in music. Like, that's the impression I get off him.
I think he likes loads of different types, everything from electronic music through to rock music and indie music and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, I know, it's just like impressive that you can enjoy that much music. But yeah, I do like the Smiths. I don't, like I'm saying, I don't really listen to them much anymore. But I think the one of the moment for me is There Is a Light That Never Goes Out.
Yeah, I like that one. That's nice.
Yeah. But see, like I was saying, quite a lot of it got ruined from social media.
Yeah.
Like, see, Heaven Knows I'm Miserable.
Yeah,
What's that called?
Is that the one that's about the double-decker bus?
No, is that not?
That's Heaven Knows I'm Miserable now, is it not? I don't know.
This
anyway,
is horrible. This is making me lose my mind.
I like This Charming Man. I think that's very like well known though for the Smiths.
Wait, I'm trying to work out in my head.
Just the way the song goes, humming it through.
I can't remember.
Is this Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now? Is that the one that was To Die By Your Side?
So Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now is
gonna give us a Morrissey impression.
I was looking for a job and then I found a job and then
Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now.
I don't think it's. Oh, maybe it is.
Is that not the same song that we're just singing different bits of it?
I can't remember, right? Because I don't really listen to Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now, but that was ruined by TikTok completely.
Yeah.
But then There Is a Light That Never Goes Out. I really like that song, and then I do like This Charming Man. But like I'm saying, like that was very big on TikTok. Like, I think. See, I was singing it recently. I think somebody joined in and I was looking at them. I was like, how do you know this?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know this song?
Aye.
And I'm not like a pure like, oh, they're so underground, because they're not. They're so famous. Yeah. But it's just like somebody that really I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, I think you'd have to. I always thought you'd have to have some sort of interest in alternative rock music to know about them, or to know their songs.
Because I wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm the only person that listens to this. But I was like, you just don't give me the impression that you would listen to them. And they're like, oh no, I heard it off TikTok. I was like, of course you did.
Not a real fan, just a plastic fan. Anyway, we better wrap things up here because I'm conscious of the storage on this iPad. We need to get a more efficient way of filming this, like a hard drive or something.
I know, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, Annie. I've really enjoyed chatting through your favourite Taylor Swift songs.
Thank you, I've enjoyed it.
Good, you've identified our song as your favourite Taylor Swift song of all time.
Yeah.
If you disagree, please feel free to comment below. That's what all the YouTubers say, isn't it?
Don't disagree, but do listen to it because it's very good.
Yeah, and Taylor Swift, obviously, an amazingly successful artist, but there's more to it than that. You know, powerful message behind her songs. She's not just a pop star; she's more than that.
She's a person.
She's an icon.
She's an icon, a legend. You know, she has a moment.
Indeed. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. See you later on. Bye.